Once upon a time, there was a little dog, and his name was Rover. He was very small and very young, or he would have known better. He was very happy playing in the garden in the sunshine with a yellow ball, or he would never have done what he did. Not every old man with ragged trousers is a bad old man. Some are bone and bottle men and have little dogs of their own. Some are gardeners, and a very few, are wizards prowling round on a holiday looking for something to do. This one was a wizard, the one that now walked into the story. He came wandering up the garden path in a ragged old coat, with an old pipe in his mouth and an old green hat on his head. If Rover had not been so busy barking at the ball, he might have noticed the blue feather stuck in the back of the green hat, and then he would have suspected that the man was a wizard, as any other sensible little dog would. But he never saw the feather at all. When the old man stooped down and picked up the ball, he was thinking of turning it into an orange, or even a bone, or a piece of meat for Rover. Rover growled and said, "Put it down," without ever a please. Of course, the wizard, being a wizard, understood perfectly, and he answered back again, "Be quiet, silly," without ever a please. Then he put the ball in his pocket, just to tease the dog, and turned away. I am sorry to say that Rover immediately bit his trousers and tore out quite a piece. Perhaps he also tore out a piece of the wizard. Anyway, the old man suddenly turned round very angry and shouted, "Idiot! Go be a toy!" After that, the most peculiar things began to happen. Rover was only a little dog to begin with, but he suddenly felt very much smaller. The grass seemed to grow monstrously tall and way far above his head, and a long way away through the grass, like the sun rising through the trees of a forest, he could see the huge yellow ball where the wizard had thrown it down again. He heard the gate click as the old man went out, but he could not see him. He tried to bark, but only a little tiny noise came out, too small for ordinary people to hear. I don't suppose even a dog would have noticed it. So small had he become that I am sure if a cat had come along just then, she would have thought Rover was a mouse and would have eaten him. Tinker would. Tinker was the large black cat that lived in the same house. At the very thought of Tinker, Rover began to feel thoroughly frightened. But cats were soon put right out of his mind. The garden about him suddenly vanished, and Rover felt himself whisked off. He didn't know where. When the rush was over, he found he was in the dark, lying against a lot of hard things. And there he lay, in a stuffy box by the feel of it, very uncomfortably for a long while. He had nothing to eat or drink, but worst of all, he found he could not move. At first he thought this was because he was packed so tight, but afterwards he discovered that in the daytime he could only move very little and with great effort, and then only when no one was looking. Only after midnight could he walk and wag his tail, and a bit stiffly at that. He had become a toy. And because he had not said please to the wizard, now all day long he had to sit up and beg. He was fixed like that now.